Good evening. I'm Carolyn Casson, President and CEO of Michigan Women Forward. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our very first Women Up and Pitch business plan and pitch competition in the Bay City region. These competitions are held throughout the state during March and April. But back in October, 150 women submitted a business concept paper with their application to pitch in tonight's competition. With the help of volunteer judges and reviewers, we narrowed it down to 50 finalists across the state, 10 of whom will be pitching tonight in the Bay City region. Before we jump into the pitches tonight, I would like you to meet our judges. I'm going to ask each of them to come on and introduce themselves. First is Brandy Cook Brown. She's the executive director of 100K Ideas. Welcome, Brandy.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Anything you want to say about yourself?
Ooh, learn how to work mute. That's first. Brandy Cook Brown, I'm executive director of 100K Ideas based out of Flint, Michigan. We help people who have ideas for a business get started. So I absolutely love this competition. And again, thank you so much for having me.
We're glad you're here. The second judge is Madison Jarman. She's the Community Affairs Manager for Consumers Energy, who gave us all this prize money that we'll be giving away tonight. So thank you, Madison, and tell us something about yourself.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Madison Jarman, the Community Affairs Manager representing Bay County for Consumers Energy. I'm so happy to be here tonight and happy we can give this prize money.
We're glad you're here too. And last but certainly not least, Trifina Clark, who's the Community Engagement Officer for the Ruth Mott Foundation. Welcome, Trifina.
Thank you for having me, and I'm just happy to be a part of the first competition for the Bay County. And again, glad to be here. I have been looking at grants for over the last 9 years and making decisions on grant making, as well as business innovation, and trying to identify and scout out new ideas to invest in for social impact. So I'm glad to be a part of this. And we know that small businesses create jobs, drive innovation, and foster economic growth. And so we're looking, and I'm excited to be able to select a winner tonight.
Lots of winners. There's going to be a lot of winners. And remember, every one of these people are already winners.
Yes.
They made it through from 150 down to 10 here. So these are pretty incredible women. Thank you, judges, for being here. I know you've already been hard at work reviewing each of the finalists' business plans. They account for 60% of their score tonight. And in a few minutes, we're going to be hearing the pitches, which account for 40% of their score. Each finalist is going to have exactly 3 minutes to do their pitch. And then you judges are going to have 5 minutes to ask them some questions. Sound good? Is everybody ready? All right.
All right. Great. Thanks so much, Carolyn. We're going to let you go and we'll see you a little bit later. Hello, everyone. Ellie Guillory, Data and Impact Manager here at Michigan Women Forward. I work out of our Grand Rapids office, but what a time to be alive. All of this virtual stuff we can do. Super exciting. So we can pull people in from all over the state at this one time. I love it. And judges, thank you again, echoing Carolyn's thanks that you are joining us this evening. So just to reiterate a couple of things. We do give exactly 3 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and pull in our timekeeper this evening, Gabe Silver. He is also with MWF in our Detroit office, and Gabe will be keeping us on track and on time this evening. So exactly 3 minutes for their pitch. Then we will have up to 5 minutes for our judges to ask some questions. So audience, keep in mind that one finalist this evening will win your vote. And when they do win your vote, they get $1,000. So a lot of people ask, hey, when do we get to vote? When is the audience choice vote? It's going to be after all of the pitches this evening. So 1 out of the 10 this evening will win that audience choice vote for $1,000. So you're going to want to stick around so that you can submit your vote when the time comes. Potentially somebody could walk away with the highest amount you can win tonight, $11,000. That's if you win the first place and the audience choice vote. It's happened before. That's a pretty amazing amount of money to walk away with after one evening. So we will get there soon enough. But you know what? We want to get the pitches started. So we're going to be in two categories this evening. The first is the startup. We'll take a brief break and then go into the established. So I want to go ahead and introduce our very first finalist pitching this evening in the startup category. We have Sarah Trumbull with the Job Applicant Perspective. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good, thank you. Can you hear me? Is everything coming?
Can. So we know it's a great start to the evening. We've got your video feed. We can hear you. I love this. Okay. So Sarah, how this works is when you start talking, Gabe will start the 3-minute countdown. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes and you can finish your sentence. After that, our judges will have some questions for you. Now, Sarah, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the large layout so we can all see your wonderful face while you are pitching. So, Sarah, go ahead, take a deep breath in, let it out. When you start talking, Gabe will start that timer when you're ready.
Okay. Imagine you're searching for a used car in 2025. The seller won't tell you the price of the car before you get to see it. You spend 3 hours filling out paperwork before you get to meet them. You finally meet the seller and they disappear without notice. And later you find out the car didn't even exist at all. That's the experience of being a job seeker in the last 5 years, times 1,000 at least. But it doesn't have to be. All other online marketplaces use a reputation system. Etsy, Amazon, Yelp. Supposedly we don't need one in this marketplace. But why? Right now, Forbes estimates 36% of job posts are ghost roles online, and Harvard estimates 27 million people are stuck long-term in the market. Jay Jones, a copywriter, has taken down over 15,000 fake jobs and 5,000 fake recruiters on LinkedIn alone, just one of whom made $440,000 in 2024 by cloning real recruiter profiles and sending people just trying to improve their lives financially to get their identity stolen. With the job posting reputation system, we reframe this entirely. Instead of asking one person to take down 15,000 fake jobs, we ask millions of people in the market to identify just one or two, solving problems for everyone. Billions less in market inefficiency, negatively impacting the talent that you wish to acquire. Right now, existing reputation systems for hiring are written by those footing the bill, not those the products and services are meant to attract and impress. It's a lot like if picking a restaurant to impress a first date, you only asked people who bought gift cards about their gift card buying experience, not those who have eaten at that restaurant. In reality, if the experience of a job seeker on a job board, whether amazing or abysmal, doesn't affect the job board's bottom line, there aren't any economic incentives to use your hiring budgets wisely. The Job Applicant Perspective is a first mover in a nascent but growing market designed to make the job seeker's side of job hunting more efficient by monetizing their engagement for solutions as opposed to just monetizing their engagement for profit alone. Our MVP is live. We have over 30 jobs listed, 600 companies able to be reviewed, and we are growing every day. 2 sides, 1 platform. Like Airbnb or Uber, we know that considering both sides of a market on one platform is entirely doable and profitable. Our revenue model shows that with just 1% of the US market, charging only $10 per post, we would make over $9 million in the first year. We would use funds from this competition to make ad buys in Blind for Business and Reddit, drawing in as many early adopters as possible. At the Job Applicant Perspective, we are honored to be the first job platform since the newspaper to understand what operating in a 2-stakeholder market really means. Thank you.
All right, great job, Sarah. Gabe, how much time, if any, did she have left on the clock?
She had just run out like a second ago. I was coming off mute.
All right, way to go, Sarah. 3 minutes. Okay. So now we are going to enter a time where the judges can ask you some questions based on your business plan and or your pitch. So we're going to start this round with Brandy, then Madison, then Trifina. So Brandy, go ahead and your question for Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for your presentation. My biggest piece is on the employer side, because this is very much a job seeker focused platform. What is the incentive for the employer to use your platform?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. So for me, I think I also write for the Ping County Journal. Like I wander around asking local small businesses how they do with their hiring process. And I think there's a huge incentive in that most of the online job boards have been really detrimental to the local small businesses, and that most local small daycares, they spend $50 a day to sponsor a role for a $12 an hour job because they have such high turnover. And the presence of that $50 a day represents the high turnover. They can't use local job boards because regional job boards tend to try to recreate Indeed. And I know that they're nervous about it because for the exact reasons you described, but I also think it's worth rethinking that Yelp didn't kill local fine dining. It made it more efficient to find where you wanted to eat. I want like a way for regional job board to be functional for local small businesses. They are my go-to market kind of place. Local businesses, not like Dow and DuPont and Amazon, but like Heaven's Gate Daycare and Live Oak Coffee House, those kind of places. And that giving job seekers a reason to be on the platform, whether or not I have 50 fake jobs or 50 ghost jobs or whatever, 50,000, whatever, gives them a way to be seen, be present, be visible for the roles that they have without having to spend that kind of money, making it more affordable. Right. I hope that answered your question. Sorry.
It did. Sorry. Thank you.
I think it's my time. All right. Great presentation. Thank you so much. Can you tell me what drove you to start this business?
Sure, absolutely. So a variety of things, but I mean, partly my personal experience, because I came into the job market at the end of 2020 with a master's degree and like 17 years of great experience. And I was shell-shocked by how different my experience was than what I expected it to be, because we had a master's degree and 17 years of great experience. I expected to go really well. And because I'm an academic, I started doing research. I was like, okay, is it just me? Am I like a crazy person? Like, what am I doing? That sort of thing. And so I was doing that also, like trying to get like resume writers and career coaches and stuff like that. But then also looking in the academics and finding like Harvard's Hidden Workers, Untapped Talent, or The Lost Generation in the Journal of Human Resources, or others like Business Insider, Jacobs and Kula has written several articles kind of highlighting the insights or the experiences of job seekers that I also found informative to kind of go with, like kind of steer my like line of thinking of what's going on,
Sure. Thank you.
And my question is related to your business plan, and it has to do with your forecast and just an idea of, I know you mentioned you had secured your first business client. How many job posts was secured from that business client? And then like, how did you get to the revenue projections of the 9 million a year?
Sure, absolutely. So revenue projections for 9 million a year, that was based on, I was doing the TAM, SAM, SOM kind of like thing where you're like figuring out what 1%, like 30, whatever those are. But those projections came from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. I did an average of the number of open job posts between it was like November and December 2024, how many roles were open. And then if we did just a pay per post model only, what that would what that would mean if we did like $10 per post for that. And then as for, that's where the 9 million comes from. But as for the clients that I currently have, the mall officially fully signed on, the Midland Mall. And there are a lot of like pizza shops or like those sort of just based like straightforward retail, like local small business retail that's there. There's Egyptian koshery place and like a grilled ham and cheese. But they were trying to find ways to better advertise their people. And so I have 30 posts from there, but also from like local counties and governments and stuff. They're like small business things a little bit. And what prompted them to sign on was also similar to my argument that like their concern is often that they don't have like high paying roles. And so that's kind of like a concern for them about, because also one of my requirements was posting the salary amount. But I kind of like try to sell to them the point that like, you're right, like you don't, but that what you're looking for isn't just your ability to acquire people, it's to acquire people in a quick amount of time, as well as make the exit period more fun. So you can't offer $50 an hour kind of wages, but what you can offer is respect for the time and energy of a job seeker who's trying to come into your thing. And that also means that when you're getting turnover, you're likely to get more like 2 weeks notice, that sort of thing that makes it easier to rotate into the next person. So, but to be fair, the challenge is also that when you're running at local small businesses, you're not going to get 50 job posts per business. You're getting, one every couple months, every 6 months, that sort of thing. So that is also part of the challenge there too.
All right. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. Way to start us off strong this evening with your pitch. We're going to let you go back to the Zoom room and we will see you a little bit later. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Sarah Trumbull with the job applicant perspective. So judges, we're going to give you just a moment to finish tallying those and scoring. So the judges are all using a standard rubric that we have to score this evening, in case those of you were wondering how that happens. And right now, though, we want to hear from the audience. And so, yes, Cindy Hines, I see you. Hello. We are so excited to have you pitch next week at our statewide food competition. But let us know where you're watching from. You will really impress me if you can beat Dublin, Ireland, which we had for the West Michigan competition a few weeks ago. I think they were staying up super late to watch. So, but we get people from all over Michigan, of course, and we even get people watching from all over the country, sometimes some international folks. So yeah, let us know where you're watching from. We want to know. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our next finalist this evening. We have Breasia Hamlin with Michigan Homebuyer Academy. Hello, Breasia. How are you?
Hi. Oh, wait, where'd you go?
Well, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's just a slight lag, but we can still hear you. So we're good. We're good. We can see you and we can hear you.
Okay.
So Breasia, you have some slides. I'm going to go ahead and bring those in. Okay. So how this works is we have 3 minutes on the timer. Well, Gabe does. When you start talking, Gabe will start that 3-minute countdown. If need be, he will call time at 3 minutes and you may finish your sentence. After that, our judges have some questions for you. So go ahead, give yourself a moment, collect those thoughts. Next time you start talking, that timer will begin. Good luck.
Okay. Imagine you've worked for years saving up for your first home. You're finally ready to buy, and then reality hits. Your credit score isn't where it needs to be, but no one told you sooner. You find a home you love, but a financial hiccup from years ago keeps you from getting approved. When you finally seek help, you're overwhelmed with conflicting advice and don't know who to trust. This isn't just frustrating, it's why so many people never buy a home at all. That's why we created Michigan Homebuyer Academy, a digital online educational platform for first-time buyers, because no one should lose their dream of home ownership due to a lack of guidance. Meet Alexis. She's 32 years old, finally making good money and ready to buy her first home. But after weeks and weeks of searching online, she's overwhelmed, confused, and stuck. And she's not alone. 70% of first-time buyers don't know where to start, and thousands miss out on free down payment assistance programs each year. The home buying system isn't built for first-time buyers. It's complicated, stressful, and intimidating. The home buying system, Now imagine if Alexis had a step-by-step roadmap that made the home buying process simple, clear, and stress-free. Our platform is designed to take buyers from feeling overwhelmed and stressed out to confidently securing the keys to their new home by breaking down complex concepts into clear, step-by-step actionable plans. It also provides direct access to trusted professionals, ensuring that buyers have trustworthy guidance at every step. What makes us different from realtors, lenders, and online sites is that we are dedicated to preparing, educating, and empowering first-time buyers. Our two primary revenue streams include referral fees as well as subscriptions from students who enroll in our program. This ensures that we can sustain and expand our impact without placing a financial burden on first-time buyers. Our growth strategy focuses on 3 key areas. First, we will leverage digital marketing to reach first-time buyers who are actively seeking for guidance. Second, we will build strategic partnerships with mortgage lenders and realtors. And finally, we will engage with our communities, allowing us to build trust and increase brand awareness. This model does not just generate consistent revenue, it solves a massive problem in a way that scales, ensuring that more buyers have the resources that they need to successfully purchase their first home. In the first year alone, with just 33 referrals and 200 paid members, we will generate nearly $100,000 in revenue. This $10,000 investment will be critical in accelerating our impact in our communities. 55% of the funds will go towards course and platform development. 30% will be allocated to marketing, which will allow us to reach more buyers who are looking to purchase their first home. And the remaining 15% will support our community engagement initiatives. So Michigan Homebuyer Academy is not just about helping people purchase homes. It's about educating our communities on the importance of financial stability, wealth building, and breaking generational cycles. So by investing in Michigan Homebuyer Academy, you are not just supporting another business, you are creating real opportunities for thousands of people who would have otherwise given up on their dreams of home ownership. So let's make home ownership accessible together.
Great job, Briasia. How much time, Gabe, did she have left, if any?
Exactly 3 minutes.
All right. Look at everyone doing it tonight. Super excited about that. Okay. Can tell you've been practicing. Practice, right? Okay. So, Briasia, our judges have some questions for you. So, we are going to this time start with Madison and then Trifina and Brandy. So, Madison, any questions that you have for Briasia?
Sure. Thank you so much. Great presentation. Appreciate you being here tonight. Can you please tell me how your content on socials might differ from those that already might be on TikTok? I remember reading that in your business plan.
So one thing that our content specifically focuses on is not being surface level. So a lot of the times right now when we see things on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, they're typically just like a really quick tip. They don't really go into detail and everything is kind of left surface level. So we wanted to intentionally design something that would get individuals off of social media, off of Facebook, off of TikTok, and actually into a platform where they can dive a little bit deeper into those concepts and things like that so they can learn more. So of course, we would utilize social media in order to get their attention, but our goal is to get them off so that we can properly educate them and go into more detail.
Great, thank you.
Great job on your business plan and the presentation tonight. The question that I have for you, you showed that you generate revenue by your subscribers and by your referrals. Could you share a little bit about the exclusive discounts that you mentioned in the business plan? And is the hope that the discounts will add value to the subscribers so that they will continue to subscribe?
Yes. So in regards to the revenue model as a whole, we do plan on having partnerships with those realtors and lenders in different areas so that we can service our clients and, of course, earn revenue through the referral fees from those service providers. And then on the subscription side of things, our users, we will have different tiered plans. So we have a free plan that's kind of like an introductory level to where if they just want to get their feet wet and kind of learn more about the business, they can do it that way for free. But we also have a paid subscription that allows them to learn more in detail and get access to more resources and more one-on-one support at a lower cost fee. So not necessarily like a discount per person, but we wanted to make sure that the pricing was affordable so that they would still be able to come in and get the information without feeling, like overwhelmed by price. So we have to make money, but we want it to still be affordable and accessible to everyone.
Okay. I think I can go ahead and hop in with my question. Great presentation. The only piece that I was curious about, so you had mentioned in your business plan that you would be the author right now for the initial content. What are your plans for maintaining content? Because obviously things evolve and change with life in the world. So what are your plans for maintaining things as they move forward and grow?
Gotcha. So right now I am serving as the lead instructor for Michigan Homebuyer Academy. However, I'm kind of in the middle of like my pilot program, which is my initial launch. And I have created some partnerships with different financial institutions and banks and mortgage lenders within my community that kind of helps me stay up to date on what's actually going on in our market and also the resources that are available for first-time home buyers. So for example, like one of my partners is Elga Credit Union, and I have spoken with them and had meetings with them to learn about the programs and initiatives that are available for first-time home buyers so that I can implement those things into my content, into my curriculum. In the future, I plan to, of course, add more instructors as well as add more resources that further my content, and of course to continue to build those relationships so that we can make sure we're staying up to date. But right now it's pretty much between me and my partners, we're kind of collaborating together to make sure that things stay up to date and accurate as far as what's going on in our market.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have just a little bit more time if anyone has another question for Breasia. No?
I have just a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
What is your actual revenue versus the budgeted revenue for this year so far?
So right now, I'm still like in my pilot phase. So I have not directly generated any revenue from Michigan Homebuyer Academy yet. So everything is pretty much based off of my projections with the audience that I've built. So for example, I would say within the last 14 days, I have sent about 9 individuals over to get pre-approved for their mortgage, which of course would keep us on pace for the projected revenue goals that we have for our first year. So we have not generated any revenue yet, but we have secured a decent number of clients. And I think that it's safe to say that we're on pace.
All right. Well, Breasia, well done. Thank you so much for your pitch this evening. We're going to let you go back to the Zoom room with the other finalists, and we'll see you a little bit later. Well done.
Thanks.
All right. Judges, we'll give you just a moment while you're doing that. I did see we have someone watching from Florida, so they might win for furthest away. However, we also have, a Youper. Hello, Cole. Welcome from Marquette. Cole is tuning in. And then, we have some people from around Michigan, so I love it. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and supporting all of our finalists as they pitch. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our next finalist. We have Emily Williams with Rad Foods. Hello, Emily. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. Speaking of Youpers, welcome. Joining us from the Marquette area, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. A little chilly up there, but
snowy.
Yes. All right. So, Emily, you've got some slides I'm going to go ahead and bring into our feed. How this works is Gabe has 3 minutes on his timer. When you start talking, that timer will begin. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes. You may finish your sentence, and then we'll go into some questions from our judges. So go ahead, take a deep breath, let it out. When you start talking, that timer will begin when you're ready.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm Emily Williams, CEO of Rad Foods. I'd like to start with a crazy big number, 5.6 billion. That's the global population that's sensitive to lactose. Now let's narrow that down to one very important person to me, Cole. That's my husband. Cole loves cheese, and cheese doesn't love him back. Sometimes he indulges in the real thing, but he always regrets it. And he's tried the vegan options, but they never hit the spot. They taste funny, the texture's a little weird, and they never really melt. So that's where Rad Foods comes in. After the perfect date night, Cole, me, and a Vitamix, we created a game-changing dairy-free cheese that isn't just an alternative, it's an upgrade. With bold, unique flavors like Frank's Red Hot and Zesty Ranch and an irresistibly melty texture, Rad is satisfying cravings without sacrificing. The U.S. cheese market stands at $42 billion a year, and within that, the dairy-free options represent $1 billion opportunity. With 2/3 of the population sensitive to dairy, that's a huge growing demand for more delicious options. Our target customer is between 30 and 45 years old, purchasing for their family with an average income of $75,000 to $125,000. This also aligns, and not by accident, with the Frank's Red Hot shopper. While there are established names like Dea and Violife, these brands mimic traditional cheese flavors with inconsistent melt and imitation taste. Rad Foods stands apart by offering unique flavors that capture both the new and the nostalgic, all with an ooey gooey melt. With continued global trends on improving our health and the planet, the category is ready for a new player. Our humble beginnings started in our kitchen, but today Rad slices are available in 43 stores across Michigan and Indiana. Our growth plan is calculated, starting with the Great Lakes region, specifically our distributors, KeHE, and a warehouse in Illinois. We aim to expand to 225 stores this year and 1,500 stores by 2027. To get there, our innovations include new exciting flavors and formats. And to do this, we have a team of industry veterans from companies such as Halo Top, Chomps, and more. Today, I'm asking for $10,000 to fund our new packaging initiative to improve shelf appeal and trial. This will also support our trade show presence at Making It in Michigan and a KeHE tabletop show. In summary, Rad is poised to upgrade the dairy-free category. We have an innovative solution to a widespread problem with a competitive advantage and proven early traction. Please join me in bringing Rad foods to the masses. Thank you.
All right, well done, Emily. And Gabe, how much time, if any, did Emily have left?
20 seconds.
Hey, okay, all right. Also, I did not know that Cole was your husband when I gave him a shout out. I just saw, I didn't even see the last name. I was like, Marquette. All right, we got someone from the UP. Awesome. Okay. So this round, our round of questions, we'll start with Trifina and go Brandy and Madison. So Trifina, any questions you have for Emily?
Yes, good job, Emily. And I wanted just to congratulate you guys on your win last year to help with the branding. And it really does take me back to the 80s, and I like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My question for you, you mentioned here that you're going to launch some new flavors. And by the way, my kid loves the Red Hot. Could you tell me how are you going by getting opinions or feedback on what flavors to come out with next?
Absolutely. We took part in a consumer sensory analysis test with Michigan State University this year, and that was a really incredible opportunity to get real-time feedback from consumers and really in very targeted and specific testing environments. So we would really like to lean again on that food science program as we innovate with flavors.
Thanks, Emily, and great job on the presentation. My only question is, I saw that you were branded with Frank's Red Hot. So is that like an official agreement that you have with the company? And are there plans to get kind of others? Because that obviously is something that's very familiar. So it can only do good.
Yes, thank you for calling that out. We've had a really, really great relationship with McCormick, the parent company of Frank's Red Hot, to license that brand. So there is a formal legal agreement involved in that. But they've been wonderful partners, and they're looking forward to seeing more of their brands showing up in a different section of the store. So extensions within the McCormick brand family are definitely a possibility. We love the idea of licensing familiar brands because as a new brand, that really helps us get those products off the shelf and help with that consumer awareness when we have such a limited time when people are in the grocery store for shopping for new items. That Frank's Red Hot brand is very important to us.
Thank you so much. Can you tell me where the name came from?
Absolutely. So my husband and I were both born in the 80s. And so we were trying to sort of nod back to our, our early days. And then internally, we sort of joke that it's really awesome dairy Dodgers. And that's where the two D's come from. But, not dogmatic about being vegan or dodging dairy all the time, but whenever we can for our bodies and the planet.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Fellow 80s baby here. Oh, go ahead.
Time for another question?
Yeah, I was just about to say we have time for another question. Go ahead.
So I know a lot of your revenue is generated by sales of the product, and you showed a kind of putting the product in the stores. And so what is the refrigerator life of the product, and what is kind of your product waste so far? Have you had a gauge on that as of today?
Yeah, we have 180-degree shelf life, so it's actually quite long when you look at the refrigerated set. But we are assuming some startup costs, kind of factoring that in early days when you're starting to get that traction and that flywheel going with the distributor. But we are food waste fighters, so we're really trying our best to minimize that waste.
All right. Any other last questions for Emily while we have her?
Have you had any other stores come online since you released a business plan for us to read?
Yes, Pete's Fresh Market is a recent addition, and we had some really big meetings. We went to Expo West, which is a big trade show out in California, and so there are some other chains that are in the works as well.
Great job getting it out there.
Thank you.
All right. Emily, fantastic job. We're going to let you go back to the Zoom room, and we will see you a little bit later. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So that was Emily Williams with Rad Foods. Up next in our startup category, I'm going to introduce Jamie Kramer with Earthly After. Hello, Jamie. How are you?
Hello, hello. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we can. So that's how we know we're off to a great start. Okay. No troubleshooting here. All right. So Jamie, you've got some slides for us. I'm going to go ahead and bring those into our feed here. Great. And so Jamie, how this works is Gabe has 3 minutes on his timer. When you start talking, he will start that. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes and you can finish your sentence. After that, our judges will have some questions for you. So go ahead, give yourself just a moment, collect your thoughts. Next time you start talking, Gabe will start that timer. Good luck.
Thank you. This is Lonnie. Lonnie loved to embarrass me and had a very dark sense of humor. So we're going to consider this payback. Everyone say hi to Lonnie. Hi, Lonnie. Lonnie was my best friend's mom and my alternative mom. Lonnie loved beaches, sarcasm, Bud Light, life cut short like many by cancer. And after she died, my friend got a call. Hello, it's the Asheville crematory. Your mom is ready to be picked up. She arrived to this, a cardboard box of ashes. Over 70 million of our parents, grandmothers, children, aunts, and uncles will share this exact fate, hidden in garages and storage spaces across the United States. Now, here is the beautiful Lonnie that I knew, tanned and barefoot in the sand. Lonnie's legacy could never be contained in a box, and neither should yours. Earthly After hosts scattering services for our loved ones in national parks, starting at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. We celebrate the lives of the bold, adventurous, and the brave. Lonnie loved the water, but you can choose from dunes, trees, lakes, mountains, oceans. A portion of all sales goes towards national park preservation and conservation efforts. Our client partners work within the funeral home and veterinary industries, purchasing our national park bio-urns and suggesting our scattering services to those making end-of-life plans. Partners then receive a 20% commission on all sales referral. We host custom private memorials of all sizes, starting at just $2,000. This year, we're also launching our communal memorial options, One Last Hike and One Last Walk for Pets. This affordable memorial option allows families to receive photos, videos, GPS coordinates, and trees planted in their loved one's name. This year's event at Sleeping Bear Dunes will feature a butterfly liberation, floral design touchstones, music, readings, and a rehabilitated raptor release. Life is short, but the market is big. 80% of Michigan is choosing cremation, and 60% of people are interested in green burial, but less than 5% of funeral homes can actually offer it. Earthly After positions itself as a green cremation alternative in a $30 billion funeral industry and an over $150 billion pet industry that's rapidly growing. With the $10,000 we win tonight, we will start production on 2 new urn designs and adding Acadia National Park to our growing list of locations. It will also enable us to gather new clients and attend 2 national funeral conferences. In closing, I'd like to take a moment and raise a toast to Lonnie. Thank you for my first perm. Thank you for the mac and cheese. Thank you for seeing me. But most of all, thank you for creating my best friend. I still see you in her every day. To Lonnie.
All right. Well done, Jamie. Gabe, how much time did she have left, if any?
Just 1 second.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well done.
Just 1 second.
All right. Yeah. I mean, everyone's been just like really hitting that 3-minute mark tonight. So well done. Okay. So our judges have some questions for you. This time we're going to start with Brandy and then Madison and Trifina. So Brandy.
Thank you so much for sharing your amazing story. Also, I wish I hadn't known we were going to do a toast. I would have been able to join in. So
I'll put it in the notes next time.
Next time, I'll put it at the end of the plan. But thank you so much for sharing your story. My only question is, I know you had talked about bringing on new partners for parks. Is the goal to, and this also I know was kind of touched in, but in your business plan, but your expansion plans to kind of go beyond just Michigan, and what parks you kind of have your eye on to kind of hopefully bring on?
Yeah, which ones?
Yes.
We've identified 10 parks, and I probably am not going to have a list. I could show you right now. Actually, we have a map. But we've identified the parks based off of visitors. So like the amount of visitors that they get every year, and then their approximation to high cremation rates. So we have them scattered throughout the country as our first 10 that we've identified and that we're hoping to move to.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I read in your business plan something about grief support and AI, and that feels a little bit dehumanizing. So just explain it to me. I want to learn more.
No, thank you. That's the perfect question, because I actually did one today and it was so exciting. We utilize AI like in a note taker way. So it's just kind of silently happening in the background while we are able to be present with that person. And so we're able to like talk about stories and like all of these little aspects of life that made that person, the person that they were, and then take all of that information and put together a memorial that truly reflects the person. And so that means like if they had collectibles or if they have like something that they really enjoyed, we disperse that throughout the ceremony. Colors, we utilize song, today we were talking about making the programs into journey maps and being able to, tell the person's story within that map. So everybody gets a little piece of like the depth of people, because stories after we lose a loved one are the things that connect us to them the most.
Thank you so much for that clarification.
Thank you.
Jamie, good job on your presentation. And also I went and visited the website. I appreciate the give back that you have on there, as well as the opportunities to invest. So very, very user-friendly website.
Good, thank you.
Have two questions for you. The first one is just about your grief counselors, because it wasn't mentioned anywhere in the proposal, but it was in the budget. Share a little bit about them. Are they licensed counselors, social workers?
So we sorry, did I cut you off? I didn't mean to.
I was just going to put both my questions out there so we can save time, and then you can be able to keep on rolling. And then the second one was about the tree costs. And is that part of the packet, or is that an additional amenity, or and then they're able to plant that as they go to the parks to spread the seeds?
The idea. Okay, so first question was, sorry, remind me again. It was
counselors,
the counselors. Okay, so we initially did our pilot program with licensed therapists, and we decided to kind of take a step back from the therapy route. So there are a number of people in the death industry that are completely underutilized, some of them being death doulas, because we needed more of a stance of like, not necessarily clinical. We need someone to hold space who's been in that place, who knows how to knows how to respond and say the right thing, but also can be at a lower price point for us and for the consumer. We refer out to licensed therapists if people need more support, and we're happy to do that. So I hope that answered your question. And then the second question, again, remind me, my brain goes kind of numb when I'm in these positions.
I saw tree costs on the budget.
Oh,
so
the tree.
A little bit about the trees.
Yep. Okay. So the trees as they exist right now, we are planting what are known as legacy trees in honor of a loved one. So we partner with One Tree Planted, and what they do is they will send the loved one a tree planted in their honor as a memorial. The idea within the national park system, because you can't, honestly, like bring in anything or leave anything behind, is that they would be under an existing tree, which is better anyway, because the mortality rate is really high for tiny trees, not so much for those big established trees. And then one day when we have our first conservation forest, because we want to save land as part of our business plan, we will be able to plant trees. So if people are interested in purchasing a tree that they can watch grow, they can do that as well. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think we're just about up with time. So great job, Jamie. I will say this. Usually I'm in producer mode and I'm not like, whatever, getting too emotional, but your toast got me. So congrats. You're one of the few who got me. So, all right. Had a little tear there. Okay, Jamie, we will let you go back to the Zoom room and we will see you a little later. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Jamie Kramer with Earthly After. And now to round out our startup category this evening, I would like to introduce, Ashley Kirby with Turkey Bob Books. Hello, Ashley, how are you?
Hello, good. How are you guys?
Good. Now I believe that you are joining us from Florida this week. Is that correct?
Right. We are on family vacation right now.
I admire that dedication and commitment. Well done. Okay, so Ashley, you have some slides for us. I'm going to go ahead and pull those in. Okay, so how this works is Gabe has 3 minutes on his timer, and when you start talking, that timer will start. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes, and you can finish your sentence. After that, our judges have some questions for you. So Ashley, go ahead, take a deep breath, let it out. Next time you start talking, that timer will begin. Good luck.
Imagine a world where kids feel seen and accepted. This isn't just about books, but a movement to empower kids with the tools that they need to not just survive, but to thrive. Will you help me in creating that future for our kids? Hi, I'm Ashley Kay, founder of Turkey Bob Books. I create beautifully illustrated picture books that use relatable characters to teach life skills and acceptance. Picture this. It's Friday, December 8th. Jessica, the FedEx driver, will be delivering books today. Well, Friday and Saturday come and go, and she doesn't show up. But then Sunday comes, and our new FedEx driver, Dan, delivers all 27 boxes. My husband and I bring them all in the house. We open one up and take a book out. We sit on the floor in our playroom with our kids, and I begin to read. And that is when the magic happens. Look, there's Papa. Look, there's me. And in that moment, I realized something deeper, that my kids see themselves and their world is reflected back at them. And the realization that every child deserves to see themselves in literature. I'm telling you this because this is why stories matter. When kids see themselves, they don't just read the story, but they connect to it. They see their teammates, their classmates, and their friends. They return to it over and over again because it belongs to them. Through books, they learn about themselves, life skills, and the power of acceptance. With vibrant, whimsical illustrations, my stories come alive, not just for kids aged 3 to 7, but for parents, grandparents, and educators. My first book, inspired by my dad and son playing pickleball together, connects with a niche market of pickleball athletes. What makes me stand out from other authors? I'm glad you asked. I use relatable characters and real life situations that kids can connect to. When kids connect to the story, it's easier for them to understand the lesson. One book costs roughly $9,000 and uses a team of professionals. Turkey Bob Books received inventory in December and has sold over 300 copies through pre-orders, my website, in-person events, and other businesses. Later this year, I plan on adding an ebook option on Amazon, expand into more businesses, and to offer school visits. With adding these, I'm projecting a sales increase of 77%. Tonight, I am asking for $10,000 to start production on my second book about thankfulness or acceptance, to hire help with marketing to optimize my reach, and to build an impactful school visit with hands-on learning tools. Help me publish books that change kids' lives one story at a time.
All right, Gabe, how much time did Ashley have on the clock, if any?
You know, you might be surprised, but exactly 3 minutes total.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Nicely done. And if you couldn't tell, yes, our finalists have been practicing. Okay, good job, Ashley. So now our judges have some questions for you. And so this round, we're going to start with Madison, Trifina, and Brandy. So Madison.
Great. Thank you. Great presentation. Where did the name come from?
So my son, who's in the book, his favorite stuffed animal's name is Turkey Bob. It's this little ratty stuffed turkey from Bob Evans. And so everything to him was Turkey Bob since about 1.5 years. And when I was creating my publishing company, that name was the one that kept coming back. And I was like, I just have to go with it. And my illustrator actually came up with my logo. And I sent her a picture of my turkey. And I was like, he's a little ratty, so you might have to make him a little bit cuter, but here you go.
Thank you so much. I love knowing the reason why.
Thank you.
Ashley, great job. And I would just say you included the pictures in the business plan, and the pictures are beautiful. Illustrations really enhance the overall experience, just even with the ones you showed on the screen today. My question is related to individual purchases. I know you're planning on going into the schools to introduce the book to kids there, and then people can order a minimum of, I believe it was 5 books on the website. And so how do you anticipate meeting the demand of the individuals that only may want to purchase 1 book at a time?
So my personal website, they can order any amount that they want. I don't have like a set amount that they have to order on there. I do also do some in-person events. I've already done like 5 or so far this year, and I have a few more lined up where I can personalize them and stuff like that and meet people, which is really enjoyable for me. And then I'm also on like a wholesale website called fair.com. And on there, you do have to set a minimum. So they have to order 5 or more books on that website. But if they order directly from me, they can order whatever amount that they want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing. One, I love the mission of your business. I think that's very beautiful to have and say. So with that in mind, are there plans to add additional authors at some point? I know you're just getting started and you're looking on book 2, but is there a thought to bring on others that also kind of share that same vision with their stories and being able to be representative of different children?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, it's just me. I do have other authors that I've connected with. Some are further along in the journey and some are in the same spot in the journey. So that part's been really cool to connect with them. There is where I can buy books from the authors that are in the same position as me, or ones that I think other kids would be drawn to that are similar to mine, but a little bit different. And I plan on doing that when I do some more in-person events, having other authors' books that I can sell. Authors generally will sell other authors' books for like a wholesale price, and then I can resell them, and then I'll have other options. I'm hoping to write more myself. It's been so fun. I've been wanting to do it since I was a little kid, and just being able to do it has been a dream come true. So it's really fun. It's a long journey, but it's a really cool journey to be on. So
Thank you. Also, just to let you know, I'm also on family vacation, so you're not alone.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on.
So much dedication tonight. I think we have a little bit more time if anyone has another question for Ashley while we have her.
Ashley, I do have another question related to your budget.
Yes.
And in your year-over-year projections. I don't know if I overlooked it, but are you planning on paying yourself for managing the company at some point? Because I didn't see anything in there for salaries or wages.
Yeah, so hopefully that would be a great thing to be able to do with these books. So I did a Kickstarter campaign and raised over $5,000 doing that. And then I had someone a really big supporter who also donated $2,000 towards me. So I'm getting pretty close to break even at this point right now. But everything that I've been making for profit and stuff is going right back into the business, because I do want to at least write one more. I'd love to write a cajillion more, but I do have like 4 manuscripts right now that I would like to be able to put out. So maybe next year I might be able to give myself a salary of some sorts, but I definitely am trying to invest it back into the business so I can do another book and purchase them and keep it rolling. So great question. Thank you.
All right. Well, Ashley, great job this evening. We're going to let you go back to the Zoom round, and thanks for rounding out the startup category so strong. We'll see
thank
you later.
you. Bye.
All right. Okay, so judges, there you have it, our first category of startup finalists. We are going to go ahead and take a short break now. So I'm going to let our judges go on break. And our timekeeper, Gabe, great job, Gabe. Thanks for keeping us on time and on track this evening. So at this point, feel free to get up, stretch, go refill beverage, get a snack, do whatever you need to do. We're going to take a short break. And I just want to put a reminder out there that a little bit later, after all of our finalists are done pitching this evening, we will have our audience choice vote. I know everybody gets so excited for that. I'm sure that's why many of you joined. You want to vote for your favorite finalist, your favorite pitch, the person you got on to support this evening. We will walk you through how to do that as soon as we are done with the established category, which is coming up next. So sit tight or get up, stretch, do what you need to do, and we'll see you back here in just a few. right, welcome back. Or if you are just joining us, welcome to our 2025 first ever Bay City Region Pitch Competition, virtually, of course. So excited to have you and to have all of our finalists this evening. So we just got done hearing from our first round of pitches, which were in our startup category. And now we're going to move on into the established category. So just a couple of reminders. We do stick to a strict 3 minutes for the pitch. And so Gabe has not had to come off and interrupt anyone yet, which is fantastic. So everyone, you can tell they've been practicing and just really making sure that they're hitting that 3 minute mark. And then after that, we have some Q&A from our judges who have already read and reviewed business plans and now are listening to the pitches. One final reminder that after this following round of pitches, we will have the audience choice vote. So the winner of the audience choice vote will win $1,000. So potentially somebody could walk away with $11,000 if they win the first place prize in their category and the audience choice. Very exciting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull our timekeeper, Gabe, back in. Gabe, you're doing a phenomenal job this evening, per usual. I didn't doubt you at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring our judges back in. And so we have Madison, and we've got Brandy, and we have Trifina. Great. So judges, what do you think so far? It's going pretty good?
Great pitches, yes.
Yeah. You can tell they put in some work for sure. So I hope you're ready for this next round. I know none of us envy your task a little bit later when you need to decide who's going to win. But until then, we have some more pitches here. So I would like to introduce our first finalist in the established category, Emily Dodds with Immaculate Home. Hello, Emily. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great.
Good, good. And then you have some slides. I'm going to go ahead and bring those into our stream. Okay, so Emily, how this works. Gabe, our timekeeper, has 3 minutes on this timer. When you start talking, that will begin its countdown. If need be, he will call time at 3 minutes, and you may finish your sentence, and then our judges have some questions for you. So Emily, go ahead, give yourself a moment, collect those thoughts. Next time you start talking, Gabe will start his timer when you're ready.
Awesome. Well, hello. I'm Emily, and I'm the founder and owner of Immaculate Home. We live in a world that expects people, especially women, to do it all. But behind every beautifully manicured home is someone quietly carrying the weight of daily logistics, surprise breakdowns, endless vendor calls, and a to-do list that seems to never end. The invisible labor is really costly, not just financially, but emotionally. And for too long, we've told people to figure it out on their own. Now, our solution. Immaculate Home is a luxury home and lifestyle management firm that takes those stressors off of your plate. We operate as a fractional family office, offering tailored support that includes vendor coordination, restorative cleaning, professional organization, seasonal setups, errands, and a lot more. Our teams are IICRC certified and background checked. They're trained to protect both the physical home and the peace of the people that live within it. It is not just cleaning, and it is definitely not just convenient. It is a new way to be supported at home. Our business model runs on a recurring monthly membership with concierge-style support designed for busy, high-standard households. Clients pay for a consistent, high-touch service that anticipates needs before they become problems. And we also partner with other trusted providers like Stocked Up and Longer Days to create a seamless full circle care experience. Let me see. In 2024, we generated over $200,000 in revenue, servicing 19 premium clients. That's only 1.7% of our target market. We have maintained an 100% client retention over the last 3 years and are strategically expanding into Harbor Springs and Ann Arbor. We're also developing a training platform to grow a certified workforce in lifestyle management, setting the national standard for this emerging industry. We're seeking $10,000 in funding to accelerate our next chapter. $4,000 will support marketing and digital lead generation. $4,000 will enhance certification and SOP development. $2,000 will formalize our strategic partnerships. This funding is not just going to help us grow. It's going to help us build a scalable, replicable, scalable model that empowers local workers and provides meaningful relief, to families all across Northern Michigan. Thank you.
Okay. Gabe, how much time did Emily have left, if any?
25 seconds.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I could have kept going. Okay.
Came in well under that 3-minute mark. Way to go, Emily. All right.
Okay.
So now our judges have some questions for you. So
Absolutely.
This round, we are going to start with Trifina, then Brandy, then Madison. So Trifina, questions for Emily.
Yes, good job, Emily, on your presentation. Can you share a little bit more about the training workforce portion of that you shared during your presentation?
Absolutely. I would love to. And thank you for asking. And so we provide, a lot of people are very familiar with the cleaning industry, and they're familiar with the upper level estate management industry. But what they're not familiar with is the sort of bridge from one to the other. And so we are developing, one thing that Immaculate Home really does differently is we spend so much time in certification, training, best practices, encrypted data protection, client forms, SOPs, NDAs. And it took us a long time to learn these sorts of things. And so I'm trying to build an online tool that is essentially like an online butler program. They still exist. It's actually coming back in popularity because of the need of the households, both parents working all the time, everyone sort of living in time poverty and being overwhelmed. And so I'm trying to teach other people that there's a bigger opportunity here in a really accessible way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to remember it was me. Thank you so much for sharing. My only question really is, what does onboarding look like for new clients? So I'm assuming it's pretty high referral is my inception just of this type of service. So how does that look like if somebody's like, hey, I'm really interested in this. How do I go about it? Because I can imagine it's a lot of things to get on an understanding of to start working with them.
It is. And I love that. Thank you. So you're 100% right. Our business to date has been referral only, which is really incredible. We've never spent any money on marketing until now, and sort of we're trying to grow sort of from here to the next level. And it is a lot of communication. It is one-on-one. What we have done really well is we've been able to build communication forms with really strict standardization. And so when do you want to be contacted? What are our hours of operation? What is appropriate to communicate? Do you have an existing household manual? Do you have contractors that you love? Do we have to find contractors that you love? And then we build a package that's so unique and so tailored to their experience. And it is definitely a building block system, because it's impossible, as you brought up. It takes a long time to really build relation with these people. But that's the best part of our business, is it is so relational. And so once we have someone, but we also do have really cool online tools and resources that help us expedite this process, which goes all the way back to the first question, which for me is like, how can we teach other people all the stuff that took me 6 years to learn? Because it is so much. It really is like learning your lifestyle and your dietary restrictions and your favorite things at Meijer and at the local deli. And, if you have, my mom has it's very sensitive to smells. And so all of these things take a long time to learn, but I've gotten really good at asking the right questions.
Great. Thank you. What got you into this type of work?
Oh my God. I'm so thankful that you asked me that question. Okay, so I had a child very young, love of my life, absolute light of my life. And 7 years ago, I was in nursing school full-time, working full-time at the hospital, and raising Dylan, my child, my love, on my own. And I was desperate for help. And not just like, I tried to hire a cleaning lady. It wasn't really exactly the right thing. I tried to hire someone to just can you just pick up my dry cleaning? It isn't the big tasks in my life that are overwhelming. It's the tiny to-do lists in my day-to-day life that are sending me over the edge. And so I couldn't find it. And so in all of my spare time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to create it. I'm going to come up with the name that I love, and I'm going to put it on Google. And if it's meant to work, I guess I'll do this instead. And so I got all the way through nursing school. I was a nurse for a couple of years during COVID. And Immaculate Home has just really been we've been so lucky. We've been on a steady incline. And so I've been doing this full time now for 1.5 years, which feels incredible. So thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, preach. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a little bit more time if anyone has one more question for Emily.
Just great business plan.
Thank you. Thank you. This is like my whole life. People are like, what's your plan B? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So this is it. Yeah.
Well, your passion comes through, Emily. So well done. Well done. We will let you go back to the Zoom room with the other finalists. So thanks for kicking us off strong in the established category.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Okay, so there we have Emily Dodds with Immaculate Home starting us off in the established category. And next we are going to bring in Kelly Carlin with Off the Wheaten Path. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Nervous.
Okay, it's to be expected, but I know that you're going to do great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put you on the big screen so we all can see you very well and hear you very well. But we're all still here, don't worry. So here's how this works. Gabe, our timekeeper, has 3 minutes on his timer. When you start talking, he's going to start that countdown. After that, our judges will have some questions for you. I'll bring you back in so you can see them while they're asking you questions, so it's not, a little awkward. So go ahead, take a deep breath. Let all the nervous energy out. You're going to do great. Okay. So next time you start talking, that timer will begin. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Imagine being a kid at a birthday party, watching your friends enjoy cake while you sit with nothing, or being an adult who has to ask every restaurant, is this safe for me? Only to hear, we're not sure. That's a daily reality for millions of people with celiac disease and food allergies. Until Off the Wheaten Path, there was nowhere within 100 miles of Midland, Michigan, where they could safely enjoy and fresh baked cinnamon rolls or order a gluten-free birthday cake without the fear of cross-contamination. That's where I come in. I'm Kelly Carlin, founder of Off the Wheaten Path, Midland's only dedicated gluten-free bakery. What started as a Michigan cottage law side business grew into a farmer's market favorite, and in July 2024, I opened a storefront. Customers now drive hours to get our safe, allergen-friendly baked goods. The gluten-free and allergy-conscious food market is booming, growing at over 10% annually, projected to reach $4.15 billion by 2030. Yet most bakeries and grocery stores offer limited cross-contaminated options that are unsafe for those with severe food allergies. Even national chains fail to provide the quality and safety that Off the Wheaten Path guarantees. The demand is here, 300% Thanksgiving order growth in just 1 year. Customers travel across the state just to visit us. Find Me gluten-free listings and reviews continue to bring new visitors weekly. But people aren't just looking for food, they're looking for a place where they belong. That's why I'm expanding Off the Wheaten Path into more than just a bakery, an allergen-free event space where families can safely celebrate milestones and learn to bake safely at home. Despite our success, growth is limited by 3 key challenges. 1 is space. Our current kitchen can't keep up with demand for requested products. 2 is supply chain. Our key gluten-free flour blend is occasionally out of stock for 1 to 4 weeks at a time, limiting our ability to scale production. 3, payroll. I handle most operations myself, from baking to customer service, because hiring is expensive, limiting our growth. Winning this $10,000 grant will allow me to expand our bakery's offerings and create an allergen-free event space by funding ADA-compliant restroom renovations, $6,000, ensuring all customers feel welcome. Tables and chairs, $1,550, accommodating baking classes and private celebrations. Kitchen equipment upgrades, $2,250, expanding production of our most requested items. With this investment, Off the Wheaten Path will double its revenue streams by offering classes and private events. We are not a concept. We're profitable, growing, and trusted. Despite $25,000 in startup debt, our cash flow has remained stable, covering weekly expenses without financial strain. Projected $192,300 in revenue next year, scaling to $297,450 by 2028. Customers return weekly, creating a consistent, sustainable customer base. This grant will allow us to grow strategically while maintaining the trust and quality that sets us apart. Our goal is to pay off startup debt within 3 years. Adding in-person classes will create a sustainable revenue model that complements daily sales and holiday peaks. We will scale strategically, ensuring we never compromise on quality or safety. This isn't just about food, it's about belonging, where there's no question about your health and safety. This grant will help me serve more people, expand my reach, and create a space where food allergies don't mean exclusion. This is more than a bakery, it's a mission. And with your support, Off the Wheaten Path can become a place where everyone has a seat at the table. Thank you.
All right, Kelly, well done. Gabe, how much time, if any, did Kelly have left on that clock?
I was just coming off mute to say time. She was perfect.
No surprise. I am not surprised. All right, well done, Kelly. Off the Wheaten Path. That's a very fun name. Okay, so our judges have some questions for you this round. We're going to start with Brandy, then Madison, then Trifina. So Brandy, questions for Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Great job. Also, I wish I would have known you 2 years ago for my son's first birthday, because we ended up doing some very homemade, non-egg related cupcake. They weren't great, but it's fine. We made it. The biggest thing I was curious about is, have you thought about putting products in stores? I know obviously like your initial growth is kind of within Midland and growing your existing space to do that. But I see this as such a great opportunity, just because, as you mentioned, going into a retail store, it's very, very hard to find truly non-cross contaminated products. So I don't know if that's in your purview in the future.
It is down the road. Right now I'm conversing with some local smaller restaurants and cafes to have a few products specific to those stores in there. As far as going into grocery stores, I'm definitely not there yet. I really want to keep the small hometown feel of what I've been doing right now, possibly in the future, but right now it's just not in the cards for me with the space that I have available.
Great, thanks. Great job, Kelly. So my question is about your event space. So we have these allergen-free products, and then you have an event and people bring in non-allergen-free products. How are you going to manage that and welcome everyone?
So that's going to be, there's going to be different, I guess, packages, you would say, where nobody's going to bring in outside food. Possibly beverages, but nobody's going to bring in outside food. We're going to provide all of that just to make sure, because we have so many people that come here specifically for a nut-free environment. There are so many peanut and tree nut allergies that they don't have any other allergies, just that. And it's absolutely terrifying because those are all anaphylactic. And so they come to us just to have that safety and that security.
So you'll be providing other things other than your baked goods at these events, or?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly, your presentation really pulled at my heartstrings, and like knowing of me personally dealing with allergies and having to purchase things for different kids that can't take in certain things is really a great need for what you do. So good luck with the business. My question was related to your hours of operation. Yes. I know during the months of March through July, that was the lower peak times, lower revenue generating months. And so does that have to do anything with the hours of operation? Because I didn't see that listed in the business plan at all.
No, so that was from last year before I opened my storefront. So at that time, I wasn't at the farmer's market last year because I was working on my storefront. It was a few 5-month process to get the building fixed up and ready for me to move in. So I was only doing porch pop-ups from my house and special orders a few times a month.
And what is the plan moving forward during those months? Will you be in the farmer's market?
No. So we have regular store hours now. I unfortunately did have to change them a little bit this year because we suffered a house fire last year. And so where we're staying at, the bus does not come to pick up my kids. So I am on children chauffeur detail. So.
Okay, I think we have time for one last question, if anyone has one for Kelly.
One more. You had mentioned concerns around getting flour just because of the inconsistent, just its slow production and trying to get that. Did you mention, and I could have misheard, that's why I just want clarification, is there an intent for you to kind of start delving into that, or kind of maybe diversifying, who your source is to get that?
That's a tough one because I finally found a gluten-free flour that I absolutely love, and I can only order it from the company through my wholesaler that's out in Colorado. And they sometimes they're out of stock for no explanation, no reason that I'm aware of. but it always does come back in stock, and there's absolutely no place in Michigan where you can buy it in a store.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. So Kelly, thank you so much. Great job. And we will talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Thank you, judges.
All right. So that was Kelly Carlin with Off the Wheaten Path. Okay, judges, I'll go ahead and just give you a moment to get those numbers down. And audience, remember, we are that much closer to that audience choice vote, $1,000. Stay tuned because you're going to want to participate. But we can't get to that until we've heard from everybody. So up next, we have Jemiah Ryan with Ryan Studio and Company. Hello, Jemiah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good. We can see you and hear you. We love that. Yay.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in your slides to the feed. Here we go. Okay. Love those handbags. So pretty. Okay, so how this works is our timekeeper, Gabe, has 3 minutes on his timer. When you start talking, that timer will start. After that, he will call time at 3 minutes if need be. You can finish your sentence. And then after that, we will go into the judges' questions, as you know. Okay. So go ahead and give yourself a moment to collect your thoughts. Okay. Get centered. Next time you start talking, Gabe will start that timer. Good luck.
Imagine this. You walk into a store, run your fingers over a stunning designer handbag, and flip the price tag. It's $2,400. For the average working woman in Michigan, that's nearly 2 weeks' pay. For most, that price tag isn't just out of reach. It's a reminder that luxury has always been positioned as something exclusive. That's when I knew something had to change. Hi, I'm Jemiah Ryan, founder and designer of Ryan Studio and Company, a brand redefining what it truly means to carry luxury. With a BFA in fashion accessories design and experienced designing for brands like Stuart Weitzman and Kate Spade, I blend creativity with business expertise backed by a team of experts driving our vision forward. But I believe luxury should be more than just price tags and exclusivity. Women deserve handbags that don't just look beautiful, but feel powerful. Pieces that are thoughtfully designed, impeccably crafted, and built to last without forcing them to choose between paying bills or owning something that makes them feel seen. And on the other end of the spectrum, fast fashion offers affordability, but at the cost of poor craftsmanship and waste. That's where Ryan comes in. I created Ryan to offer designer level craftsmanship at an accessible price by selling exclusively online using sustainable, eco friendly materials. By doing so, we make high quality handbags more affordable for women who are building their dreams, chasing careers, and taking up space in the world. But Ryan isn't just about handbags, it's about creating a movement where women don't have to wait until they make it to own something that makes them feel like they've already arrived. And that's exactly what we're doing. In just 2 years, we've built a loyal community of Ryan babes, women who don't just buy our bags, they believe in what we stand for. Our reach has even extended to a few celebrity clients who didn't just carry a Ryan bag, they carried our mission. The moment a woman sees and experiences our handbags, it's more than a transaction. It's a transformation. Because when she chooses Ryan, she's supporting a dream, not a trend, and we're just getting started. With the $10,000 prize, Ryan will expand with 3 new handbag styles that speak directly to the modern woman. Flat bags that seamlessly transition from day to night, fanny packs that offer stylish hand-free options for women on the go, and our patent-pending top handle handbag, a timeless statement piece that embodies sophistication and strength. But this isn't just about adding more products, it's about giving women more choices, more confidence, and more access to the luxury they deserve. Because Ryan is more than a handbag brand. It's a symbol that says luxury doesn't have to be reserved for the few. It's proof that women, no matter where they are in life, deserve to carry something that makes them feel powerful. I built Ryan because I saw a gap in the industry, but more importantly, I built it because I saw women like me, like you, and around the world who deserve better. And today I'm asking you to stand with me in rewriting the future of luxury. Luxury should empower, not exclude. With Ryan, it does. Let's change the industry together. Thank you.
All right, Jemiah, well done. Gabe, how much time, if any, was there left on the clock?
Just 15 seconds.
Wow, okay, great job. Okay, so now our judges have some questions for you. Let's see, this round we're gonna start with Madison, then Trifina, and Brandy. So Madison, any questions for Jemiah?
Yeah, great job, thank you. How did you come up with the designs for your bags?
So with my background, with my degree, I've had about 4 years to get familiar with the design process with fashion accessories. It typically starts off by me either going back to a time where I wish I could afford a handbag that I couldn't necessarily get right then and there. I then go into my sketchbook, come up with different prototypes. I do my paper prototypes myself, which is kind of like a 3D mock-up before I send my tech pack to my manufacturer. And then that's how we get the sample. And then we do our durability testing. And then that's how we determine what we put out in stock.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Good job on your presentation.
Thank
I know
you.
you addressed the tariffs and how that would possibly impact your
Yes.
business model and your finance model. How
Yes.
quickly are you? I know you were looking into other production companies as well. So how quickly would you be able to pivot, or do you see that in the near future based on the additional tariffs that the president just put out?
Yes. So we currently have a few manufacturers lined up prior to the one that we're using currently, just in case that is an immediate effect. We currently did use, I would say, we put in a recent order of restocking an item, and the shipping was around the same. So it wasn't necessarily a huge price jump. So that did allow me to see how I needed to prepare myself. But we definitely do have about 2 or 3 similar manufacturers just lined up just in case.
I want to apologize for background noise. They decided to amp up right around this time. I do apologize. But actually, Trifina stole my question. So I was curious, the update on that, because I know there's been some time since you completed your business plan. So to hear that you're kind of in that process and doing it, so that's awesome to hear the resilience in that. So thank you.
No problem.
I do have another question related to the production, and I know it mentioned a minimum of 100 units per product. Do they allow you to have variation in the color and then the design of that 100 per unit order?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you mentioned that your customers like exclusivity, so just wondering how you're managing all of that.
Yes. So the MOQ is 100. That is consistent of 50 per color. So if it's 100, 200, 100 meaning 2 colors in that same style, 200, 4 colors, and so on and so forth.
Okay, any other final question for Jemiah? Yep, go ahead, Madison.
I just wanted to applaud you for using your local resources with Saginaw Future and the SBDC. So great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Jemiah, I will say I don't allow myself to go too deep into the finalist websites until after all of the pitch competitions are done. And I think this is one I'm probably going to have to revisit because I was like, ooh, okay, no, not yet. So, but I will. I mostly check websites and social media, just like, oh, okay, let's make sure, people are actually doing what they say they're doing here. But so yeah, I will be visiting. So great job.
Thank you so much.
We will talk with you a little bit later. We'll let you go back to Zoom. All right. So that was Jemiah Ryan with Ryan Studio and Company. All right, judges, I'll give you just a moment to finish your scoring. And then we are going to go ahead and bring in our next finalist. We have Shauna Amos with EWP Coaching and Consulting. Hello, Shauna. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. How are you?
I think we're doing pretty well this evening. And you have some slides I'm going to go ahead and bring into our feed. Okay. And so, Shauna, how this works is our timekeeper, Gabe, has 3 minutes on his timer. He will start that when you start talking. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes and you may finish your sentence. And after that, our judges have some questions for you. So go ahead, take a deep breath, let it out. When you start talking next, Gabe will begin his countdown. Good luck.
20% of small businesses fail within the first year. And by the 10-year mark, that number skyrockets to 70%. Some of the leading causes are poor leadership, lack of trusted talent, and not enough strategic support. Imagine a community without its local businesses. the coffee shop that gives you a boost to start your day, the family-owned restaurant where you celebrate milestones, or the child care center that takes care of your precious little ones. These businesses aren't just places, they're the heartbeats of our communities and local economies, but many small business owners face burnout, overwhelm, and exhaustion from trying to handle things on their own without the leadership tools or expertise needed to build strong teams or create healthy company cultures. I'm Shauna Amos, founder of EWP Coaching and Consulting, and we're on a mission to help business owners beat the odds of business success. I've leveraged my almost 20 years of experience in global leadership development and talent management to create leadership solutions tailored to the unique needs of entrepreneurs. Our team has a blend of corporate talent management and entrepreneurial expertise, positioning us to be a vital partner in our clients' strategic growth. In our first 2 years, we supported over 200 corporate and small business clients and tripled our revenue and achieved 68% profit margin. We transform entrepreneurs into confident leaders through our proprietary talent lifecycle audit that pinpoints pain points and provides customized services through our unique 3-tiered done for you, done with you, and new do-it-yourself approach. And after surveying 100 business owners, we learned that most struggle with attracting talent, managing performance and time, navigating conflict, and delegation. And these are all areas we specialize in. By partnering with us, business owners can transform their leadership for long-term success with resources at their fingertips. The leadership development market is a growing $2 billion market for small business owners. However, most resources focus on marketing, operations, and fundraising, leaving leadership largely neglected. While organizations like SBA Thrive and eCornell provide valuable content, we stay with you, and our expertise can enhance the support these organizations offer, allowing us to be a strategic partner with more reach in the business ecosystem. Our goal is to support 500 entrepreneurs in the next 12 months through our 3-tiered service offerings and strategic partnerships, and we're seeking $10,000 to complete the work that's in progress to create our do-it-yourself leadership platform, making our services accessible and scalable for more small business owners while still providing direct access to our team. Funding will also support targeted marketing to reach business owners who need us most, with the goal of increasing the number of businesses we serve by 40% each year. Now, I want you to imagine 1,000 successful businesses creating jobs, changing lives, and impacting their communities. Join us in reshaping the future of small business success and helping business owners keep the "We're Open" sign hanging on their physical and virtual doors. Thank you.
Great job, Shauna. And Gabe, how much time, if any, did she have left?
She had just about 2 seconds.
Woo, all right, way to go. Okay, so our judges have some questions for you. This round, we are going to start with Trifina and Brandy and Madison. So Trifina, any questions that you have for Shauna?
Shauna, I actually do not have any questions. Great job on your business plan. I know there is a great need for leadership training for small businesses, especially since they create the jobs in our economy. And so very needed. So thank you for this presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Trifina.
Again, I want to apologize for background noise. I do apologize. But as someone who works within small business support, I definitely see this need. We're a very small niche at the very top of the funnel of support for businesses that are getting started. So to see this is awesome. My only question is, what inspired you to start this? I mean, obviously you're a small business owner yourself, but I imagine you've had some leadership background and just some things that you've seen. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you got into this work specifically.
Absolutely. So my entire career has been in the HR space, and specifically since about 2011 on the talent management and learning and development side of the house. So I've been able to lead global programs and lead cohort programs. It wasn't until I started the business. So most of our clients right now are larger corporations. It wasn't until I was in a program and there were about 60 of us. And when they got to the portion, it was mainly focused on operations. When they got to the portion about leadership development and how confident you are in leading people, there were 2 of us out of 60 people that raised our hands. And I looked around and I'm like, you all deserve to be able to feel confident. And a lot of it was, they won't do it like me, or I don't know how to give feedback, or I'm hiring people based on our relationship versus really thinking about where your company is going and your mission, your vision, and your values. So all of these things that I do in the corporate space and our team has done in the corporate space, we strongly believe that small businesses, who are truly the heartbeat of our community, 99% of businesses out there are small businesses, they deserve to be able to look at their people processes and grow and scale and reach those goals. But if you don't have that effective leadership and people management, you're limited. So that was really the catalyst. When I looked around, I'm thinking, we need this. We really need this.
Okay, we do have some time. Any other questions for Shauna while we have her?
I do have another question, Shauna. I know you mentioned, well, in the presentation and then in the business plan, it showed that most of your clients will ask for the do it with portion.
Yes.
And then you're trying to wrap up the do it yourself segment. How many of your clients actually want to do it for? Like what type of clients are those?
Yeah, so that is a great question. So even though it is a smaller percentage out of the 100 business owners that we surveyed, the type of client that would want the done for you is probably someone who, let's say, for example, they aren't large enough to have their own HR team, but they need to stand up a performance management process. So they need to be able to identify goals. They need to be able to understand how to give effective ongoing feedback, and then they need to be able to evaluate the efficacy of that program. So they just may not have the expertise internally. And I don't necessarily say that we're a fractional, CHRO or Chief Human Resource Officer, but we would be able to come in and stand up processes for you if you don't have that internal expertise, or even train the person that you're bringing in so that they can take what we stand up and move that forward. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Shauna, great job this evening. We're going to let you go back to Zoom with the other finalists, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well done. All right. And here to round out our evening of pitches, not only in the established category, but all around, we have Mallory Lakoski with Wellness Weirdos. Hello, Mallory. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy to finally be here.
Yes, I know, because you've just worked so hard. It's been a process, right? So I know all the finalists have put in so much work to be here, and especially in this competition being our 4th of 5, like you've had to wait a little bit and watch some of the other competitions and things like that. So I know that many of you are so excited that you have finally made it here, and we're excited to hear from you and have you this evening. So Mallory, I know that you are not using slides, so I'm going to go ahead and put you on the big screen so we can all see and hear you really well. We're all still here, though. Don't worry. So how this works, how this works is our timekeeper, Gabe, has 3 minutes on the timer. And when you start talking, he will start that countdown. If need be, he'll call time at 3 minutes, and you may finish your sentence. And then after that, we'll go into the judges' questions for you. So go ahead, take a deep breath, let it out. And when you start talking, that timer starts. Good luck.
What happens after physical therapy ends? For millions of people, it means frustration, lingering pain, and lost progress. Hi, I'm Mallory, founder of Wellness Weirdos. Every year, 50 million people go through physical therapy in the US, yet 30% struggle to maintain their results once it's over. After talking to many PT patients, I found 3 key reasons why. 1, they don't fully understand their injury, their body, or how movement can help. 2, they don't get enough time with their physical therapist to set long-term meaningful goals. 3, they lose accountability and community, leaving them unsure of what to do next. This isn't just a physical challenge, it's an emotional one. Many feel isolated, cut off from their social lives, and stuck in a cycle of frustration and self-doubt. Losing access to movement isn't just about strength, it's about losing confidence, connection, and joy. That's where Wellness Weirdos comes in. We bridge the gap between PT and everyday wellness with personalized, virtual movement coaching. Our Find Your Best coaching platform pairs clients with expert movement specialists who create individualized video programs. We focus on quality of life goals, helping people get back to the activities they love safely and sustainably. We're better than AI or YouTube tutorials. because we offer real human guidance. And we're more financially accessible than elite one-on-one coaching. Clients can start with an intro session, book a single maintenance session if they have a flare-up, or commit to a 5-session package to help build long-term lasting habits. With $10,000 in funding, we'll enhance our virtual coaching platform for a seamless user experience, refine our messaging to reach more people who need this support, and partner with industry experts to expand our reach. Right now, people find wellness weirdos when they need a next step. Some come straight from PT, others through trainers and wellness professionals, and a lot actually come from word of mouth, usually from people who've experienced the impact, like Jonathan. He said, Karen took the time to understand my desires and challenges and customize my videos to my needs. It was the most specific care I've received outside of physical therapy. Wellness Weirdos makes recovery sustainable. Let's make sure people don't just finish PT, they thrive beyond it.
All right, great job, Mallory. Gabe, how much time, if any, did Mallory have left on the clock?
The timer started going right as she finished.
Okay. Woo! Love that. Everyone's on it tonight. Great job, Mallory. Okay, so our judges have some questions for you. We're going to start with Brandy this round and then go Madison and Trifina. So Brandy, questions for Mallory. You are on mute.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
I do know how to do this, I think. My apologies. Well, thank you so much, Mallory, for your presentation. My only real question is, it's more so a comment. I love how this kind of falls within that, hey, I finished the prescribed therapy for me, and now but I still have pain. I still need help. I still need the engagement. So I absolutely love that. So as far as marketing and how people find you, is it through those traditional practitioners, or is it kind of referral, or kind of like, how does that work? Because I can imagine some offices would love this because they obviously would probably continue to treat them if they could. They just also have their own limitations. So it's not necessarily something on their end.
Yeah. So actually, the few physical therapists who I've talked to about this all were like, yes, that's a problem. So I do think there's a world where I can partner with physical therapy offices who want to see their clients continue to succeed. And then like their role is still important, right? Because if someone has an injury that requires PT, they're coming back to them and then they're going back to us. So there's like a symbiotic quality there. I also have learned through a pilot program that it's not always someone who's fresh out of PT who is looking for this assistance. It could be someone who went like 5-7 years ago, and they're like, okay, PT helped, but this doesn't feel like it warrants that. Like, I need something movement like. So that's going to be like great SEO. I think that also is being prominent in other wellness spaces. Like I picture CrossFit gyms where they want their clients to keep coming into the gym, but if they're hurt, they're like, I might have to cancel my membership. So like they would want to, have our services readily available as well. Great question. Thank you.
Mallory, I am your ideal client. I have suffered an injury and sometimes I get afraid to move when things flare up a little bit. So I understand, and I believe that virtual COVID has really opened up virtual platforms for these types of things. I had a question related to recruitment and retention of clients, but Brandy asked that question. And my other thought was related to the high overhead costs for the platform, and that really being impacted if your recruitment or retention is impacted. So kind of speak a little bit to that in your plan.
Yeah, so I'd love to have the platform cost as little as possible, but It does have to have certain features. We want to have a really dynamic survey so that when someone comes to us, they are matched based on the qualities that they look for in, you remember that science teacher you didn't like that you couldn't learn from? Like, we don't want that to happen, right? So like, they got to have like the same like coolness that you're looking for. And they need to be familiar with the injury area you're talking about. And then just be available when you are. So that is really important. And then it's just a dashboard for myself, the coaches, and the clients so that we can like make sure everything moves seamlessly. I think it's going to be a big startup cost to have the user experience be what I'm envisioning. But I think the actual website itself, once it turns into just like a monthly cost, will not be taking a lot out of our pocket. Speaking with my developer who's working on it now, he said, look, it's not like you're doing like a groundbreaking type of website. It's just kind of the packaging and the specific customer I'm trying to reach that's unique. Also, I'm sorry you have a boo-boo. I hope it feels better. And I understand how scary it is because I quit moving when I was hurt. I had an injury and I just stopped and then everything hurt more. And I was like, what's this? So yeah, I get it.
I love that. Thank you. How many coaches do you have on staff?
I currently have 3 coaches. They were with me for the pilot program. My goal is to have 10 and just see if we're really meeting the needs of the clients we're trying to serve.
Great. And what is your difference ratio between people that just sign up for one course or the package of 5?
I'm sorry, will you say that again?
Yeah. So you have the ability to just sign up for one course and then the package of 5. What is the difference? Do people favor the 1 or the 5?
Yeah. So when I did the pilot, I just did the 5 session package, just to kind of feel it out. And I got feedback that people wish they could try out the service with 1. So that is why that's there now. I'm looking forward to having more data about like what is actually helpful. I currently have 2 types of single sessions. One is like an intro, like let's talk about it a little bit and make a plan. And the other is like, I need to start moving right now. Like, can you just start having me move? So I'm curious to see like, what are people going to buy? I won't know till I know.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I think our time is just about up for the Q&A. Mallory, not to creep you out, but we understand your dog's name is Winnie.
Okay, what?
I have access to the YouTube and Facebook comments, and we are told by Michelle that your dog is Winnie. So we want to say hi to Winnie because we saw Winnie kind of zooming around. So mascot dog, we love it.
Oh yes, she's an integral part of all our operations.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Again, didn't mean to creep you out, but we had some information there we had to use. So, okay. All right. Well, Mallory, great job. Way to round us out strong this evening. We're going to let you go back to the Zoom room with the other finalists, and we'll see you a little later.
All right. Great. Thanks, Ellie.
Thanks. Okay, so there you have it. Judges, you now have a very hard task ahead of you, which is to decide who is going to win those first, second, and third prizes in each category. So for our viewers watching, first place, $10,000, second place, $5,000, third place, $2,500, all thanks to Consumers Energy Foundation. We get to give away some really fun prize money a little bit later this evening. So judges, this is the last time we're going to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for just all the diligent work that you have put into this, from reviewing the business plans to listening to the pitches, just having really thoughtful, engaging questions and comments. We so appreciate you this evening. So we're going to let you go to that top secret teams meeting where you are going to decide who wins those prizes. And thank you again. We will hopefully see you all later. Have a good rest of your evening. Okay, as we let them go, great. Okay, Gabe, what'd you think?
Another great pitch. I mean, it's my first year doing these, and I'm so excited whenever I have a timer that I don't have to interrupt anyone and really kind of cut them off mid-sentence. It's great to hear everybody being
like the best feeling.
so on top of everything.
Yeah, because you're like, this just feels so much better. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gabe, it has come to that time that everybody I know is so excited for, aside from when we announce the winners a little bit later, and that is the audience choice vote. So Gabe is going to put up the QR code that everyone can use to vote. I always have to do this. Okay. So QR code, go ahead, take out your phone. Also, Julia, who is our wonderful communications and marketing specialist and has been posting as MWF in the comment section all evening. Way to go, Julia. She is going to post the link if you would prefer to do it that way. But if you do want to take out that phone, point it at the QR code, click the link. It should be to something called Form Stack. And you have your option of one of 10 finalists that pitched this evening. You can vote for that person to potentially win $1,000. Now, it could be someone who wins just the audience choice $1,000. It could be one of our winners of one of the other prize amounts. So they could walk away with, if they're third place and audience choice, they could get $3,500. If they're first place and audience choice, it's $11,000. It's happened before. That is an awesome way to end this evening for someone. So you need to vote. We're going to leave this open for a few minutes. So do I have favorites? No, I don't. I'm not allowed to have favorites, but you can have a favorite. I love all of the finalists. Each year I meet a new group of people. This year it was 50 because we added one more competition. And let me tell you, I so enjoy getting to know all of the finalists, working with them one-on-one, making sure everyone's got the technology down because that is also obviously an integral part of this process, right? But just getting to know them and their businesses, it is such a joy. And so no, I cannot have a favorite, but I try to support as many as I possibly can, and you should too. So that is why Julia has been posting links to their websites, their social media accounts all through the evening. So you can scroll back through those comments and please support all of our entrepreneurs. Buy their products, use their services. That's another part of this pitch competition, is just to let you all know what's out there and how you can support businesses here in Michigan. So, okay, let's go ahead. Thank you so much. I was gonna say, can I get a break from leaning? So appreciate that, Gabe.
Space.
All right, Gabe. So a great job this evening with the timing. Now we will see you next Thursday, but it's not going to be like this in the virtual format because we have our in-person statewide food competition. And now if you have not heard of this, let me tell you, you need to hear about it and you need to come, because if you're not there, you're missing out. Why? Well, mostly because we get to sample. We get to sample food and, well, I think some of it is like just anything edible, really, we get to sample. So I know, and I say that because not everybody has like food. So there will be, everything is edible out there. So it's very exciting. That's supposed to be like a hook to get you there. I don't know if that did that or not, but we'll see. So come, you want to sample you want to interact with the entrepreneurs. And then of course here, the pitches. And then we're going to have the audience choice vote there again. We're going to have prize money. Now, where is this? It's going to be held at Durfee Innovation Society in Detroit. And that is next Thursday evening, beginning at 5:30. So sampling networking starts at 5:30. After that, we go into our pitch program. Again, you get to do the audience choice vote. You get to meet the entrepreneurs. It's really exciting. Gabe, where can they go to get tickets for that? Our website is
miwf.org. And they should be able to see it right there on the banners right next to the Woman Up and Celebrate, if they can just click through it.
Yes. And Julia just posted the link to that. Thank you, Julia. Tickets are $15. And again, you're supporting 10 more entrepreneurs getting to try their product, interact with them, get some business cards and some ideas for your next event that you need catered. Yes. Okay. So we want to see you there for sure. All right, Gabe. Well, thanks again. We're going to let you go and appreciate all of your work this evening.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so again, our QR code is right up here in the corner. Go ahead and scan that, and you are going to want to submit your vote because it will close in just a few moments. All right, well, right now I would like to welcome Tamara Jackson Gatewood. She is our Director of Lending here at MWF. Hello, Tamara. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I know that you have been watching the pitches. What did you think?
It never ceases to amaze me the amount of dedication and creativity and just like authenticity that comes to each of these entrepreneurs as they take what they probably formulated on a napkin somewhere, and this ideated it, created it, and then fleshed it out. So I continue to be inspired. So it was a great group this evening. Absolutely fantastic group.
I totally agree with you. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce our sponsor this evening.
Absolutely. So again, everyone, good evening. I am Tamara Jackson Gatewood, Director of Lending at Michigan Women Forward. None of this would be possible without our sponsor, Consumers Energy Foundation. Let's watch this video.
When you think about caring for your community, what comes to mind? Maybe it's improving education or encouraging workforce development, fighting hunger or eliminating homelessness, preserving the environment, or supporting the arts. Consumers Energy has been giving back to Michigan for well over a century, and since 1990, we have been helping local communities grow and thrive through the Consumers Energy Foundation. Last year, Consumers Energy, our charitable foundation, employees and retirees gave over $15 million to Michigan nonprofit organizations. We're investing in what's most important to Michigan, its people, our planet, and Michigan's prosperity. The Consumers Energy Foundation is committed to ensuring all Michigan residents thrive economically and have access to world-class educational resources. We're focused on creating grants that protect and strengthen the health and sustainability of our state's land, water, and air. And we're dedicated to ensuring Michigan's businesses and communities are growing with world-class resources. For more information on how the Consumers Energy Foundation is caring for our communities, visit consumersenergy.com/foundation.
All right, and here with us this evening is Lauren Royston, Senior Community Affairs Manager in Oakland County. Just to say a few words, welcome, Lauren. Did you enjoy listening to the pitches another week?
I did. I absolutely enjoyed it. I stay impressed and inspired. Just so many different business opportunities, so much thought went into it, so much work. So absolutely enjoyed listening to every last one of that. One of the contestants today. So, I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to be here with you all this evening just to see how the support that Consumers Energy Foundation has provided to Michigan Women Forward, see how that is brought to life. And I know that tonight is the culmination of many efforts over the course of several months, and I truly admire all of the courage and the hard work of the finalists who identified a need, started, and grew their own small business. So every story, every pitch was so compelling and very well executed. And at Consumers Energy, we are dedicated to ensuring that Michigan businesses and communities are growing and thriving. And this includes creating opportunities for entrepreneurs who bring critical new ideas to the table, like those we've been able to see tonight. And so Consumers Energy Foundation is proud of our longstanding support to Michigan Women Forward. Over the years, we have contributed over $2 million to Michigan Women Forward, primarily supporting the WomanUp and pitch competition and other vital programming. And so our support for MWF is part of our broader commitment to Michigan women entrepreneurs and small businesses across the state. So we do believe that in the power of women-led businesses to drive innovation and economic growth. So again, thank you to all the finalists for sharing your vision and plans for growth. Your hard work and preparation for this event will undoubtedly take you far. You are making significant difference in positioning our state for a prosperous future. So again, congratulations to you all. We look forward to seeing your continued success.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you again, Lauren, just for being here tonight and for always being a part of MWF, our family, and our work. And thank you, Consumers Energy Foundation, because without you all, these competitions and so many other support services just wouldn't be possible. So thanks again. So for those that aren't aware, there are 4 ways to build generational wealth. So there's home ownership, you've got insurance and or investments, maybe an inheritance, or owning a business to pass down to the next generation. And here at Michigan Women Forward, our goal is to help Michigan entrepreneurs get the capital they need to help their small businesses thrive, create that generational wealth, and to invest in their communities. Now, our loans can be used for startup costs, inventory, equipment, marketing, rent, even payroll. Our standard statewide small business microloan offers capital loans from $2,500 up to $50,000 to Michigan small businesses. In addition, we offer lending options based on geographic region that partners with organizations in those respective areas. And we also offer pre and post loan technical assistance with a team of trained business consultant experts to assist in the various stages of the business cycle before, during, and after funding. In addition to lending, we are a network and engagement machine, and we care. This organization, named Michigan Women's Foundation at its founding, became the only public statewide foundation dedicated to championing the economic prospects and professional accomplishments of Michigan women. Since our founding, we have worked with our corporate and foundation partners to make Michigan a state where women feel empowered to pursue their passions and have equal opportunity to succeed in those pursuits. Over the years of working to improve the lives of Michigan women, we realized that many women dreamed of achieving financial independence through entrepreneurship. They wanted to build their own small businesses, but didn't have the resources, knowledge, or capital to get started. So this set the course for us to become a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, which allows us to provide capital funding to small businesses to help promote economic growth and investment in Michigan neighborhoods. As a CDFI lender, we help fill that gap for entrepreneurs who aspire to run a successful small business, build generational wealth, and invest in their communities. As a result, Michigan Women Forward has heightened its mission. We expand possibilities through our celebrations and our recognitions of female leaders and trailblazers. We invest in the dreams of entrepreneurs and creating opportunities for all. This work has positive ripples. When we inspire women and invest in entrepreneurs, we transform our culture in our state. So we don't just move Michigan women forward, we move Michigan forward. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see everyone in person. We need a lot of hugs and a lot of support in person next week, and have a great evening. Congrats to all the contestants.
Thank you, Tamara. Thanks for joining us again this evening, and thanks for watching. I know that we've really enjoyed you in your short time here, relatively short time here at MWF. We really enjoyed you. So Tamara is in the Grand Rapids office with me on the west side of the state, soon to be making your way, to the southeast side of the state. But for now, we'll keep you here because we like having you around. So
please be around.
Yes, well, of course. But so thanks again, and we'll let you go and see you next week in person. All right. And so that was Tamara Jackson Gatewood, Director of Lending here at Michigan Women Forward. Well, part of what we like to do is to give you a bit of an update on our winners. And you may be thinking, but isn't this your first year doing the Bay City region? So how can you give us an update on a winner when there hasn't been one? Well, this is true. Next year, we'll be able to give you a Bay City region winner update. But this year, we decided to go ahead and get an update from one of our previous winners from our Southeast Michigan pitch last year. So I had the opportunity to sit down with Shayla Johnson, owner of Scarlet Crane, for a bit of an update on what she's done since winning one of the first place awards last year. And she was kind enough to chat with me for a bit. So let's watch this. All right, Shayla Johnson, with Scarlett Crane, winner of one of the winners of the 2024 Woman Up and Pitch Southeast Michigan competition. Shayla, tell us a little bit more about your business. What is it? What do you do? How'd you get started?
Yes, I am a designer and printer of sustainable textiles. And essentially, I print all of my illustrations and artwork onto the fabrics and create this line of home decor and accessories that we have available in different stores around the city and around the nation. And so that's my bread and butter. We started with the tea towels that feature the Detroit landmarks in a really elegant way, and they continue to be our top seller.
Okay, great. So thinking back, and this was like more than a year ago because the actual pitch competition we're coming up on a year ago, but then when you actually applied was even before that. Okay, so I'm asking you to go back there a little bit of ways. How did you hear about the pitch competition initially? What made you decide, yeah, I want to apply and try this out?
Wow. I found out about the competition through a friend. They told me about it, and I was thinking how wonderful of an opportunity that is, and just how unique it is to focus on women businesses. And so I just decided to go for it. I was still at that time a fledgling, just starting out. So it was great because I got to really polish my offerings and how I communicate.
Okay, so once you were named a finalist for the Southeast competition, so you apply, your concept paper goes through a review stage, and then we contact you to let you know that you are going to be competing. Mm-hmm. So once you hear this, take us through a little bit the process of what you did to prepare. And I'll just preface that by, once you find out you're a finalist, then you are paired with a coach. You're working on a business plan. You're doing a pitch workshop. You're working on that 3-minute pitch, doing a practice pitch. And all of this is to gear up for the actual competition. Right. What was that process like for you?
It was amazing. Honestly, I was a little nervous because I wanted to devote time and energy and like really be focused because the coaches were just so amazing. My coach was amazing. And the training around storytelling, I found just really interesting, but just understanding the way to lay it out. And how critical that is. So honestly, I didn't know what to expect, but once I got into it and we got in a rhythm with my coach and meeting on a regular basis, it was just a wonderful value add in terms of like really getting it down to 3 minutes, but still being informative and effective.
One thing that we kind of stress on is prize money is great, and everyone wants to win, and it does help to further business. At the same time, so do a lot of those connections that you're making, whether that's with a coach or other finalists, in your pitch workshops and when you're working with them to put the pitch together and all of that. So I love hearing that you felt like the connection was valuable as well.
Yeah, I encourage other women to apply that I know, around the city, and I tell them, I call it a boot camp. I mean, but in the most amazing way. Like you're really forced to take a close look at, what you're doing and how you're coming across to the outside world. And so I don't know if I would have really done that otherwise.
You won $10,000 the night of the pitch competition. Take me back to that night, again, almost a year ago. And you're all, people can't see you, but you are in what we call backstage in StreamYard, just waiting to hear the winners announced. And so we kind of go through, and all of a sudden we get to first place. You hear your name called. We pull you into the stream for your reaction. Like, what was your thought in that moment?
Honestly, it was surreal. I have to be honest. I didn't think I was anywhere close to being in the top, 5, pitches, because the women were just amazing. The businesses that pitched before me and after me, I was able to observe a few of them, and I was just so impressed. I said, well, let me just get ready to make my dinner. I'll, be excited for them.
Oh, okay, $10,000. What did you do with the prize money over the last year?
Yeah, I was able to put that towards securing the building that we just closed on, and the Rosedale Park neighborhood in Detroit. And it was perfect to get everything squared away with our inspections and all of that, and just super helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this building.
Mhm.
What other growth have you seen in your business throughout this past year? And then to add on to that, what are your future plans for Scarlet Crane?
So yeah, I have grown some of my wholesale reach, and we got in 2 other stores, but also I was able to take a course around marketing to really help me build relationships with influencers. So that's really my focus this year, making sure that we pitch to influencers on a regular basis and just help people understand how to use some of the products. People don't know what to do with a tea towel sometimes. So it's helpful to get that out there and have other people explain it instead of me. So
Okay.
yeah, relationships and marketing is what we were able to grow a little bit last year, and we'll continue that this year.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who's either thinking about applying for this or who is going through, like, in the thick of the pitch process in preparing themselves for the competition?
Ooh, I would say keep going, because it's easy to feel like, oh, I've done this. Some people are more experienced than others, but you can feel like you're spinning your wheels sometimes. And it really is worth it to go over that pitch. Even up until the last day or the pitch day, I noticed some things. And if it weren't for me just continuing that process, I wouldn't have been as polished and, catching those details. So.
I once heard someone say, when you get to the point where you're just like sick of hearing it, you've repeated yourself so much that you're just sick of hearing it. That's when you're starting to actually like break through to people. And that's when people are starting to listen to you. Like, that's how many times we need to hear things.
This is true. This is true.
So, yeah.
So I just am grateful for the way you all laid it out for us, and yeah, allowing it to, be somewhat flexible, and for someone's schedule, even a busy person, it just works. So
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. That's great feedback.
Stop it! Oh my God!
Congratulations!
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
And if you're wondering if that video means Is it time to announce the winners? Well, yes, it does. So we are so excited to be able to announce the winners. I'm just going to keep you at the edge of your seat just a little bit longer because I do want to say some thank yous this evening before we get into our winner announcements. So you've seen so many MWF staff members here on screen participating. What you don't see are those behind the scenes. And we are so thankful to have them help out week in and week out because couldn't do this with just me, with just Gabe. So we are so thankful to have Tanisha Greer, who helps out she is the fabulous host in our Zoom room. So you don't see it, but all the finalists are in a separate Zoom room. We call it our green room, right? Kind of our staging area. And so she's been great in there all evening. Of course, Julia, as I mentioned, has been posting on our YouTube and Facebook comments all evening and interacting with all of our viewers. So so thankful for Julia's work. And then our scorekeeper, Kenneth, he was in the judges meeting. He was collecting the scores and making sure that those were entered correctly. And so we are very thankful to have the help of so many MWF staff people for these events. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring another MWF individual in to our feed, our president and CEO, Carolyn Casson. Hello, Carolyn. Welcome back.
Oh, I was just with the judges. Did they do a great job?
They were fantastic. We loved having them.
They took this very seriously. They were sweating and agonizing over, who really should be first, who should be second, who should be third. It was very hard.
It
was
tough
very,
one.
very hard
It's
to.
a tough one.
It really was, and
Yeah.
it was, and just it was such a good evening. I laughed, I cried. It was great.
All the emotions. Well, I would like to also bring back in Lauren Royston, Consumers Energy, who is going to assist with the awards this evening. So, Lauren, welcome back.
Thank you.
Remember, Lauren is and her company gave the money to make this all happen. So,
yes,
go turn on the air conditioning.
All right, so I do have to say the audience choice was in the startup category. So we're actually going to announce that one as the very first. So
I don't have it, so you have to announce it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to announce it. All right. Well, I'm going to put the drum roll up. Lauren, how much is the audience choice for? Show us, please. Okay, $1,000. Are we ready? And the audience choice winner is Emily Williams with Rad Foods.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Emily. $1,000 to you. Super exciting. So you had a lot of support.
Thank you.
That's great. The judges had a list of people they thought should have won it. So that's great. It was great. But you were on that list, Emily. So.
All right. Excellent. Great job, Emily. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and remove myself and let both of you take it, starting with third place and making our way up. So have fun.
Okay, so I guess up first, we're going to have our startup third place. And our startup third place will receive a prize of.
So Ashley, come on in, and Turkey Bob.
Woo! Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was great.
Okay. And here we go with our startup second place. That will receive a prize of $5,000.
Okay, Jamie, Earthly After.
Ah! Cheers!
You had them all crying. You had them all
Thank you,
crying.
ladies. This is such an honor. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now here we are. Startup first place for a prize of
$10,000. Yeah. Okay. Emily, Rad Foods, come on back.
Oh my gosh, I'm stunned. Oh, thank you so much. We've worked really hard for years, so this really means a lot to me and my whole family. So thank you so much.
Good. You're part of the family of MWF now, so we
Thank
can't wait
you.
to see you soar. Great. Okay.
All right. Now we have to let the startup get out and let the established come in. So we're just going to play a video of actually one of our loan clients. And so these are always fun to do so people can kind of see what's going on. And so let's watch this video. It's Betsy Murdoch.
My name is Betsy Murdoch. I am the co-owner and managing partner of the Congregation Detroit. The Congregation Detroit is a cafe and bar. We've renovated a former church. We started back in 2016, and then we opened our doors in March of 2020. The idea kind of was conceptualized based on my past experience in food and beverage, specifically coffee, and what we wish we had in the neighborhood. We're just outside of historic Boston Edison, which is home to over 900 homes, one of the largest historic neighborhoods in the country. Our focus was on our community. Just the name itself, the congregation, not only is it a play on the church theme, but a gathering place, a place for people to get together and meet each other. When we started our business, we didn't anticipate opening 2 weeks before a major pandemic. And so MWF was there to support us, not just financially, but they were always checking in on us to make sure that we were doing okay. And it wasn't until year 2 when we really started to feel a little bit more normal and start to get a good flow of revenue. And now we feel so successful that we're able to put forth effort in opening a second restaurant in our community that we think will be very beneficial, and MWF has been there along the entire way. If you're interested in starting a business, just do it. It's gonna be scary, it's gonna be heartfelt and frustrating, but you have a support system, and MWF is really going to make sure that you have that strong support system and any resource that you need to make sure that you're successful. When you support Michigan Women Forward, you support business owners like me.
Great video.
Yes. Well, hey, we have all of our established finalists in here and waiting to find out who won. So I'll take myself out and let you both take it away.
Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with the established third place that wins a prize of $2,500.
All right, this is the winner of the company that we all need, Immaculate Home.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
We're glad that you that you entered. Look at it. It was worth it, huh?
I would certainly say so. Thank you so very much.
Congratulations.
Okay, moving on. We are now with the established second place for a prize of $5,000.
Okay. Jemiah Ryan at Ryan Studio and Company. Come on in. You were second place.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You did a great job.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm already starting to cry here.
Okay, here come the tears. All right, established first place wins a prize of $10,000.
And the winner is EWP Coaching and Consulting, Shauna.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. You earned it. It was tough. You had a lot of great competition, but the judges selected you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is truly a blessing. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, thank you, Lauren. Thank you for all the work that you do throughout the year to help MWF. We really appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do and your longtime support of this organization and of these wonderful entrepreneurs. You've created a lot of exciting businesses over the years.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for watching tonight. It was another exciting evening. Ellie thanked all of the behind the scenes people that work at MWF who all pitch in to help, no pun intended. But the person who leads the pack of the people who pitch in and make this all happen every year after year is Ellie Drade. So it's Ellie Gwilly now. I'm sorry. She just got married, so I have a new last name to learn. So I want everybody to know how much we appreciate your being here, how much we appreciate all of those 150 women And the 10 that you heard tonight are already winners, and we're going to continue to stay involved with them and make sure that every single one of those women succeed. Next week is the final Woman Up and Pitch competition event for 2025, believe it or not. And that's the statewide food competition. And it's going to be an in-person in Detroit. So go online, miwf.org, and purchase your ticket and join us. It's an inexpensive ticket to come and watch 10 food entrepreneurs pitch, and you get to taste their food. So you'll love it. Thank you again for being here. Congratulations to all 10 of the women who pitched, because they are already on their way to success. So congratulations. Thank you. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.